So if you have a BMP that underneath the soil concerns, it's got a depth to bedrock issue or it's got a restrictive layer issue, you can get this information after you've defined your area of interest by going to your soils and properties and qualities. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to go down to soil qualities and features. So in soil qualities and features, the things that we're going to look at in this particular video is going to be our depth to a selected soil restrictive layer. So if we select that, we'll probably get a loading screen for each of these as it builds your information. We can look at our description here. It's going to tell you what information you're going to get from this. So in this, we've got a restrictive layer. It's a continuous layer that has one or more physical, chemical, or thermal properties that are going to impede water movement and air through the soil. And then gives you some of the examples. And then we're going to look at our rating. So you can see here, your ratings are going to be defined by colors. And if we scroll down here, it'll have our map unit symbols and the names. And then it's going to give a rating over here next to it. And so in this case, our rating is going to be in centimeters. And that's just telling us how deep can we get before we hit any restrictive layers. So for most of these cases, the restrictive layers are going to be greater than 200 centimeters, which usually means that that's not going to be an issue. We can see that we have one that is a rating of 117 centimeters. And so depending on what practice you're putting in, that may or may not be an issue depending on the practice. Other places that we can look at is depth to any soil restrictive layer. So if we go back over here to our soils, qualities, and features, we can minimize our last one. We're going to go down to depth to any soil restrictive layer. We're going to look at this again. Again, we're going to look at our description. It tells us again what we're looking at, very similar to the last one. And then we're going to type view, click the view rating. And then we're going to scroll down again. And again, this is very similar. As we're seeing the same things for these. Sometimes they'll be different. Most of the time, they're pretty close to each other in what you're going to see. And then the other thing that I wanted to focus on is depth to bedrock. So that's going to be another one. All times depth to bedrock and soil restrictive layers are going to overlap in the practice. And so it's important to kind of look at both of these for those practices. So if we minimize our any restrictive soil layer, we're going to go to depth to bedrock. Again, we're going to look at the view description. This is going to tell us a little bit what that means. So again, bedrock is where we're going to get continuous rock underneath our layers of soil. So where are we going to hit that at? If you want more information, always read the full description. It's going to give you a really good indication of what these terms mean. So again, let's click our view rating. And it's going to color code again, where it should. There we go. So we're going to get our color coded here. So again, we're all in a dark blue. So if we want to know what that means, dark blue means that everything is greater than 200 centimeters. So in this case, the area of interest that I have here, depth to bedrock is not going to be an issue or a concern. So I can kind of rule that out. And that kind of summarizes those soil concerns. Again, always consult that soil practice table that's on our website to kind of get an idea of what you need to be looking at when you're doing your practice in soils. And then the other important thing is you want to go out to the site, look at those map unit symbols, and look at those soil properties like we did in the early video to confirm that the map unit is what we're seeing on the site. If for any reason that you do not have, it doesn't appear that these are going to be what the SOP unit is at the site, they don't confirm, they don't seem to match up, then this information is no longer valid. So that really important step is going to be to go out there and confirm that our map units are what we're seeing on the site before this information can be valid. If you go out there and it looks like these are matching up, then this is probably pretty valid and you could use this in part of your planning.